Yo, what's up, everybody? The special guest is right here, my dad. So, my best friend right here, my pops. I love this man. So, big part of my life right here. He decided to come into the FC Sneaker Factory. He was in the house visiting today, so I said, you know what, might as well bring him on so we can go ahead and discuss the first round of these playoffs that we just came across. A lot of people got eliminated. We'll definitely be calling out those people names, but also too, a lot of people have went on going towards the currency is what this game is all about. I'm glad to see you guys in the building. I'm glad for all the people that participated. Thank you again. This is always a big thing. It's always a fun thing. But yeah,
Yep.
let's see what my dad has to say right here.
They weren't as good as I expected, but what the heck? It's all in fun and game. That's about it. That's all I have to say. I know I got eliminated, so but otherwise, eh, like I said, it's all good.
Yep. So yeah, one of my dad was actually the second person to get eliminated. Well, like I said, we're going to discuss all the people that got eliminated during the first round. Hopefully, we get more people in the building, but we're just grateful for our health
Oh
this
yeah.
year and to be in front of the camera for you beautiful people because that's what it's truly all about. Fortunately, I am not going to be talking about any sneakers. This is really going to be strictly for just talking about the games, the past games that we have just saw, and also, like I said, who's going to go on and actually give those other people a shout that are no longer with us when it comes to this playoff tournament. So,
Yes.
first of all, let's go ahead and go to that first game. That was the Texans versus the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my dad can agree with me. Pretty much all the games went the way they were supposed to. There's really no surprise. I would say maybe the Rams game was a
Yeah,
pretty
that
big
was.
surprise. What do you think
I,
about Pops?
I think that's going to be the Cinderella team, the Rams. I think they're the ones that are probably going to surprise a lot of people and surprise a lot of teams. So I wouldn't put it past them. They look like a strong team. They can be a strong team.
Yep,
So,
yep, exactly. Based on that performance that
yeah.
they put on the Vikings, I agree with my dad. But like I mentioned though before, besides that, that was really no surprise to me. I mean, you could say the Buccaneers and the Commanders was a upset, but in all reality, I
Mm.
feel like that was really a coin flip as far as who's going to win that game. What do you think about that game, Pop?
I like the Buccaneers because I like the quarterback. I like Baker Mayfield. He's a good quarterback. I always liked him when he was with the Browns because that's my team is Browns. But yeah, we had a lousy year this year, and there's a lot of teams that didn't do that good this year. I don't know what a lot of injuries and a lot of people didn't do as good as they expected, I guess. But otherwise, yeah, the Buccaneers would look good. I thought they were going to do it. They should have won the game. Their home team, but they didn't. And that field goal, oh man, that field goal hit the upright and went in. What luck is that? So that was another thing.
I even forgot about that field goal, how it went in. Yeah, they actually won by, and like I said, we're going to discuss all the details
Yeah,
of the games, but yeah, I forgot they won by a field goal.
yeah,
So, well, like I said, I know who had the Bucks, and I think my dad knows who had the Bucks, so we're going to give him a special shout out
yeah,
for that loss because
yeah.
like I said, that game could have went either way. It wasn't really one or the other that I thought I was gonna win. I really thought it was really a toss up, and at the end of the game, that's basically what it was. So let's go ahead and go on to the first game though, the Chargers versus the Texans. So Joel had the Texans and the Chargers. My buddy Jeff as well from Stater Brothers. I worked with him for a very long time. A good friend. He got the Chargers, and unfortunately, Jeff went down. Herbert did horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that guy, but absolute mess when it came to the playoffs. What do you think about that game, Dan?
Real disappointment because they got a good coach, the Chargers. The Chargers have a darn good coach, and I think he wasn't even surprised how bad the quarterback played. But that's another thing. Depends how good you play and what kind of luck you have. All this is all luck and how you play the game. You play the game.
Yep. I mean, all it takes is one bad game in the playoffs, right? I mean, you can have bad games during the season, but once you hit the playoffs, you really have to hit your stride. And if you have that bad game, you're done. That's it. Better luck next year. So
you go home.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, the Chargers were eliminated in that one, and it was even close. It was actually a pretty good sized blowout when it came to that game. The Texans really put it on the Chargers, and like I said, it was just a real the defense when it came to the Texans, which they're really known for. I mean, showed up, and therefore Jeff got eliminated, and Joel goes on to play, I believe, this coming Saturday, but we'll go ahead and go into that a little bit later. So who was the second game, Bob, that was up next?
That was me, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh and
my dad
I don't even want to know that other team's
my
name.
dad got the Steelers.
There you go.
And then my cousin Dave, he actually got the Ravens. And again, that was, I mean, Action Jackson really put it on. He put it on the Steelers. I mean, that guy was, I mean, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I felt bad for my dad because I know, I'm always pulling for everybody, but of course, my dad, I'm pulling for him even more to win the game. But unfortunately, the Steelers did not show up, and he was the next domino to fall when it came to the NFL pool that I hosted. So, how did you feel about that loss?
Oh man, you know what? I felt terrible. I felt horrible. I said clowns didn't even show up to play. But that's the way it goes too. And the Ravens ain't really that great to me. They're another team. Like, it depends if they're going to show up or not show up. And but that day they showed up. But I don't like the Pittsburgh, but but I know who does, and I'm gonna say his name. But I know people like Pittsburgh. A lot of people like Pittsburgh, but not me. But that's the luck of the draw. That's what you get. That's your team through the playoffs. And like my son says, if they don't play that great, you go home. There's no next week or next year, maybe, but not next week.
Yep, that's it. One and done. So Pittsburgh lost. My dad is now out of the pool, but now my cousin Dave stepped up and he's just trying to ride that wave to the Super Bowl. So we'll talk about who the Ravens got next. But the third game, right? Because those first two games came in on Saturday. Now the third game was the morning game on Sunday, and that was the Bills versus the Broncos. And let me give a special shout out because my cousin Matt, he actually pulled the Broncos and he was number 14, right? I picked his name and number 14 out of the draft. So he had to look through everybody, get their teams, and he was the last one to get his team, and that was the Broncos. And unfortunately, Matt is no longer with us when it comes to the pool because, again, the Bills massacred the Broncos. I was having faith, right? I was having faith because, that is my cousin. I was pulling for him. But Henry, my dad, one of my dad's best friends, right? One of his friends that he grew up with actually pulled the Bills. And now, Henry's going on to next week and trying to get to that AFC Championship game to get some currency and also trying to get to the Super Bowl. Yeah. And I feel like the Bills have a good shot when it comes to the Super Bowl. But, Dad, what do you think about the Bills?
I don't think they have a shot going to the Super Bowl, but they're a good team. They're a good team. I already know who's going to the Super Bowl. Right. I'll leave it to the end, and I'll tell you who's going to be at the Super Bowl. All right.
You know what? This brings me back to a story. Okay, so I remember this tournament because I wasn't the creator of this tournament. I believe I got to give this special applause to Henry because from what I remember when I was a kid, he was the one that put this tournament on. And at that time, it was like, I want to say a really low number when it came to picking your team. And it was really, I believe it was only the Super Bowl winner that won money. Am I correct on that, Dad? Yeah. But anyways, to bring it back, I remember my dad pulled the Bills like for 2 or 3 straight years.
Yeah.
And what happened? The Bills never won.
Yeah.
So, my dad was always like, whenever I think of the Bills, I always think about my dad, even though that's not his team. Like, I just remember him always pulling the Bills during this tournament that now I'm hosting, and he would always lose. And, I was just like, man, but this year they look good. I mean, I think they have a fair shot, but I mean, we all should know who they're playing next week, and we're going to go ahead and discuss that later on. But I mean, that's going to be a hell of a game. But Henry, the Henry goes on to this coming week when it comes to the playoffs, and we're only going to see who's going to now advance and go on to the AFC Championship when those teams meet together. All right, so applause to Henry, and then my sadness goes out to my cousin Matt, but like my dad says, it's the name of the game. I don't even know. I'm just picking the names. I don't know who I'm picking for people. I'm just trying to be as fair as possible. So, like I mentioned before, when I first started this last week, when I actually was pulling the names and picking the numbers, I've never won this tournament. Absolutely never. I've showed up a lot of times runner-up. I have made money being the runner-up when I showed up, but I couldn't remember the first time I ever made money. I ever went to the Super Bowl was I picked the Green Bay Packers against the Denver Broncos, and I was like a shoo-in. I thought I was going to win, and what happens? John Elway shows up and wins his first Super Bowl. So then I lost. And then I believe the next time I went to the Super Bowl, it was against, I believe I pulled the Falcons. Falcons were cruising to the win against the Patriots, and then halftime showed up, and then it was just, I don't know what happened. Like, the Falcons didn't show up the second half, and I lost. And that was the second time. And then the third time, I wasn't expecting to go to the Super Bowl. I pulled the Bengals of all teams, and that's when Joe Burrow took them to their Super Bowl, and I believe they ended up losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. From what I remember, my dad, he pulled the Bills 2 or 3 straight years. That was that run that they had, and he lost all those years. Have you ever went to the Super Bowl besides that?
No.
I think you have. I think you have. I forgot. It was a year that you pulled. I forgot what team you pulled, but you played the Eagles in the Super Bowl. It was actually my mom pulled the Eagles and my dad pulled. I forgot what team he pulled, but my mom ended up defeating him. And we're going to talk about my mom Yolanda, because she's actually still going in this pool. And you know what? That lady, like, beautiful woman. And when it comes to whatever team she picks, I swear, hand to God, she's always going to the Super Bowl. So we'll see this year, and we'll let you know exactly what team that she pulled. But now we're talking about the second game on Sunday, which was the Packers versus the Eagles. I honestly thought this was going to be a lot closer. But what did you think about this game, Dad?
I think I fell asleep. They were kind of okay, because they were just, I don't know. It was a low-scoring game or a high-scoring?
It was actually, the game was 22-10.
Yeah, 22-10. So it really wasn't that much excitement. And I don't think Barkley did that much, that game, I don't think he did that much. But, he might have scored a touchdown and ran for a little bit. But, yeah, it was an okay game. But I think I was kind of beat. So I think I probably fell asleep, like I said, in that game.
But go ahead.
That's it.
So it was actually the Packers was my cousin Art. He actually pulled the Packers, and my Michelle, one of the cheerleaders, she actually pulled the Eagles. So Michelle is going on till next week. And then now the Packers, my cousin Art, unfortunately, he is going to be no longer with us when it comes to this pool. So his pool days are over when it comes to this year, 2025 in the pool. So fortunately, Art, I'm sorry, but I believe you won the Super Bowl before. I want to say you pulled the Rams and they beat. Yeah, the Rams beat the Bengals that year. They beat me.
Yeah.
So Art, now you know how I feel. Right?
What-
I felt like a loser. Go
One
ahead.
thing, going back to that Denver game, I don't think Denver should have been there. I think the Bengals should have been there, but not the Denver Broncos. No, I think they kind of got robbed that game. That in the end of the season, I think Kansas City let up.
That's right.
To let the Denver Broncos win, and that knocked out the Bengals. But I think the Bengals would have probably gave a better fight than anybody else, than the Broncos. I think in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
didn't think
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, you know what? I
Yeah.
think the Bengals would have maybe beat
Yeah,
maybe could have even get. I'm not gonna say they're gonna beat the Bills.
Yeah.
But they would have gave them probably a better game
Yeah.
than what the Broncos did.
and
And at that time, I
Yeah.
want to say the Joe Burrow and the Bengals were
Good,
hot.
yeah.
They're getting
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, yeah, like I said, like my dad says, the Chiefs let up in that game and basically, handed the Broncos that win.
Yeah.
So good point, Dad.
Yeah.
That's why this man's my best friend right here. He gives me some knowledge that I even forget about.
Yeah.
So moving on to the third and final game of Sunday. That was the Commanders, and we already spoke about this. The Commanders versus the Buccaneers, right? Home field advantage for the Bucs. Looking good in the first half because this was actually one of the games I actually had a chance to sit down and really watch on Sunday. And you know what? They looked really good come the first half, but I don't know. I know my dad is a big fan of Baker Mayfield, and you know what? Like, he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's a quarterback to ever take any team to the Super Bowl. What do you think about that? If you're even in here, drop a comment below. But I know my dad got some faith in him, but I just feel like he's a good quarterback, but he just doesn't have the talent to take any team to the Super Bowl.
He just needs to calm down a little bit. Don't get so darn excited. You know what I mean? Just start throwing the ball around. He got good receivers, and he lost one. He lost one receiver this year, but otherwise, he has another good receiver. And but it's just he needs to control himself and more see the field more in front of him to see where he's going to throw the ball because he has a lot of interceptions. He does throw a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I saw the commentators comment on this. This was his best year that he has ever had in the league, and he has the most. I want to say the most touchdowns, and then also the most interceptions.
I think he was second. I think he was second on touchdowns. Yeah,
but first in interceptions.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that?
I think he had 41 touchdowns or something like that, or something.
Yeah, I know he had a good. I remember seeing the stats on him, and he had a lot of touchdowns, but his interception rate was just, crazy. You can't, you can't basically it's all canceling each other out. But Artie Marin, look at there, the first one to comment. Artie, the softball Jose Canseco has entered the building. Thank you, Artie, I appreciate you for tapping in. Artie, you know what? Do me a favor. Drop us a comment. Let us know who do you think is going to be the team that's going to go to the AFC and then to the NFC and represent both those leagues when it comes to the Super Bowl. Let us know. But the last game, like we were talking, the last game on Sunday was actually the Commanders versus the Bucs. It was a hell of a game.
Back and forth.
Yeah, it was back and forth. I was entertained. I'm sure everybody was entertained. It was probably the most entertaining game out of all the 2, 3 out of the 5 games at that point during the weekend. Right. So that was a really entertaining game. I had a good time. Unfortunately, my buddy George, my buddy George is no longer going on when it comes to the poll. He got eliminated. Sorry, George. I know you probably did not want the Bucs when I pulled the Bucs and pulled your name with them, but I'm sorry. But my cousin Mike, he even commented when I pulled his name and I said that he got the Commanders. He said, no, not the Commanders, because he didn't want him. Yeah. But he pulled them, and look, he's on to the next round. So congratulations, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, have some faith in the Commanders. You're moving on, buddy. And you know what? Drop a comment if you're in here. I told you that I was going to go live, so hopefully you're in here, just like Dave and Man and all the other people. But what did you think about that game, Dad? I know you discussed a little bit, but just tell us a little bit more.
You know
what?
To be honest with you, I was watching the game and it was going back and forth, this, that. But I also watch a lot of YouTube. I do. I always watch Mr. Oldies and that G Lo or G Lo LLEW. Yeah. I always watch them because they always play oldies, and I like my oldies, and I like hearing them. You know, the people pick all their songs and all that, the music that they pick. But I'm always on them channels. So I do watch football though. I watch a lot of football. But it was a good game. It was a good game. But like I said, that if it wasn't for that point went in, hey. It went in. It could have went the other way, back or forward or whatever, but it actually went through the goalposts.
The uprights.
Yeah, the upright. So it was a good win. It was a good win for them. But I wanted Buccaneers to win. I wanted them to move on. But in that league, in the Buccaneers league, their division, man, that didn't do too good.
I feel like that league, that division hasn't done well in a long time. It's like literally one team will come out of that division. There's never multiple teams coming out. It's like either you win the division or you're basically gone. So I mean it's just I don't know what they need to do with that division. It's just absolutely horrible. But Audie says I wouldn't even know. Yeah. Sorry. If it ain't the Raiders, then I don't know who, right? So, Artie, a huge Raider fan. Right. God help you, buddy. Yeah. Man, a lot of losing seasons for the Raiders. But hey, I know you're faithful. Yeah.
We're almost in the same boat there, Artie. With the Browns and Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. The way I see it is this, right? The Niners terrible season, absolutely just garbage. I hope they don't sign Brock Purdy at all. That guy, I think that guy is absolutely trash. That's just me. I hope they don't sign him. I hope they go after somebody else. Drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about that. I know a lot of people love Purdy, especially Niner fans, but he's just not it.
That's not quarterback.
That's that's the quarterback for the Niners.
Yeah. I heard that Jerry Jones is going to go after him. I think. Yeah, but that's
take him.
Yeah. But then they're going after Deion Sanders too. But
for the coach.
Yeah, for the coach. Yeah, for the coach, not for the quarterback. But that's what I heard. I don't know, but I heard. Well, I follow a lot of football, so like I said, I hear that the other one for Miami, the wide receiver for Miami, that number 10. Hill.
Yeah, there you go.
I hear he wants to go to the 49ers. So so. And I think he's open. I think he's open this year. So we'll see how everything works out this year. But let's get back to this playoff. Sorry about that.
But my dad definitely has a lot of time on his hands. He's retired, so he watches a lot of YouTube. So I know he has his own people that he follows.
Yeah, I follow a lot of people.
But Audie, go back to what Audie Marin says. Right, it's true. Just like what my dad says, the Browns. We all can relate to Artie because the Niners are garbage, and if you don't win the Super Bowl, you're basically your record, what you did in the entire season is worthless. You got to win the Super Bowl, right? No one remembers a runner-up. I remember it because it was the Niners last year, but besides that, you don't remember anybody who placed where. So, we're all in Audie's boat. As far as the Raiders go, if we're not winning the Super Bowl, we're all in the same boat as him. So,
hey, Artie, back in the days, man, you guys had your glory days. You guys won a lot of Super Bowls. With Plunkett, with that other with Casper was one of the receivers, and then that other quarterback. I forgot their name. But anyways, you guys won. You guys won your share of Super Bowls back in the what 80s, 70s, 80s. Something like
Very long time ago.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I can't say anything because the last Super Bowl Niners was like in the 90s, 94
Yeah.
against the Chargers. Really quick, Lito the Boss. Good
Yeah.
evening, gentlemen. Hey, thank
Good
you
evening.
for commenting, Lito. I saw you last week when I did that live as well. Thank you so much for commenting and for showing up. Audie says we need a Raiders quarterback, and
Yeah,
I mean,
sure do.
honestly,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
You
the
sure do.
last quarterback, the
Yeah.
legit quarterback, I could say that you guys had was, what, Gannon? When you guys
Yeah.
almost went to the Super Bowl, that was
Mhm.
the last time. But right, Papa Floyd Sr. is what Audie says because he agrees with my dad and what my dad was saying. Moving on, okay. Feel free to continue to drop comments. I love
Yeah.
comments. I love interacting with the people. Right? That's why we're here. We're not here just to talk to ourselves because I could just literally go do that with
Yeah.
my dad somewhere else.
Yeah.
But the last game, the Monday night game, and honestly, I didn't even know there was going to be a Monday night game. My dad's the one that said, hey, called me up. Hey, don't forget Monday night game. And it was the Rams versus the Vikings.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I mean, I was pulling for the Rams because my mom, that's the team my mom pulled,
Yeah.
Yolanda, the beautiful woman. But the Vikings didn't even bother to show up.
Yeah.
And well, it was where was the game at?
It was in
Arizona.
Arizona.
There you
Yeah.
go.
It was in Arizona.
And I want to
And,
say they had more fans in
Yeah,
Arizona
totally.
than the Rams.
Yeah.
And what happened, Paul? What happened in that
no,
game?
No. It's just
Tell
that
me.
I was going to say that. Hey, I love that game because the Rams came to play and the Vikings didn't. You know, like I said, and they made a little bit more out of that quarterback, Donald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. But anyway,
Donaldson.
yeah, and they made a little hype on him because he had a great year. He really did. And they're like, well, now we don't know if he's going to stay with the Vikings or he's going to go somewhere else because they do got that young quarterback that they drafted. I think he got hurt.
Penn State.
Yeah, and so I think they're looking forward to him because he did not show up at all. I don't know. He looked terrible out there on Monday night. And then they moved the game from LA to Arizona because of the fires. And bless her, we pray for everybody in LA for the fires, and they lost people. They lost their homes, and is that we always pray for people because we are Christians and we love everybody, and
a lot of people lost their lives and their homes and
people,
literally
some people
lives
lost
destroyed.
Yeah.
And football is so small
Yeah.
compared to actual like real life, when it
Fires
comes to
and
stuff
all,
like
yeah.
that. So it definitely, like my dad says, our prayers go out to those people. If you're watching, prayers for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully your animals. I mean,
Yeah.
we're big animal
Yeah,
people,
people,
so we pray for your lives and also animals.
And we have our home, so we know what it is to have a home and to be taken away, So, yeah, But
going back to the game,
yeah.
What do you think? What happened?
Hey, Rams played a great game, man. Their defense showed up, man. Not in their defense, but the offense showed up too. The quarterback, he really did good. He threw good passes and he looked really good. And I think they're going to keep moving on. I think they're going to be the Cinderella team of this.
That's why.
Of
this playoffs, 2025.
I think they're going to be the Cinderella team, and they're going to surprise a lot of people. Yeah.
Exactly, and I agree with my dad. I mean, if the Rams continue to play the way they played, God help the NFC because
and they got a young. They're young. They're young defense. They got a young team. They got a young. Their defense is one of the youngest ones. I think the first one. I think it's the Commanders. And then they're second. Yeah, they're almost.
They're a young team. We'll see what happens. A lot of good receivers on that team. My mom, like I said, is moving on to this coming weekend to play. And unfortunately, my buddy Steve, I like to call him Dirty Steve from Young Guns. He's actually got eliminated. So thank you, Steve, though, for participating. I know you're always there, man. I appreciate you participating. You're
part of the family, Steve.
Exactly, just like my dad says.
You're part of the family.
So now, we got all the teams locked up. Yeah. We got the people moving on, the people that got left behind. We got Lito, the boss, right here. also dropping a comment saying that the college playoffs been more entertaining than the NFL playoffs, which I agree to a certain extent, because you know what, the Rose Bowl, the Oregon against Ohio State. Oh my God,
horrible!
What happened? What happened to Oregon? I mean, undefeated season?
Yeah,
just to look like that, and that's honestly kind of what scares me when it comes to my team, because I pulled the Lions. We're gonna go and talk about that, but I feel like when you have too much rest, it's kind of a hindrance, and that's what happened. I want to see with Oregon, because man, Oregon never showed up. But my niece went to Penn State, so we're big Penn State fans.
We're big Penn State,
yeah. So we support Penn State. Hopefully, I mean, well, not hopefully, they got eliminated. So yeah, they got eliminated, and you know what? It was just a man, they should have won that game. I don't know. That quarterback threw that interception the worst time.
Yeah.
It's like, why? And they keep saying that he doesn't throw interceptions and he's really good at the ball, but man, to throw that interception at that time and at that part of the field was just not good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they got eliminated. That was a really good game against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But also, too, we also support Notre Dame. We're a big Notre Dame fan, because me and my dad and my mom and a lot of other people like the movie Rudy. So therefore, we support the Notre Dame team. So, you know, right now, I'm going to ask my dad, but I am hoping and praying that Notre Dame pulls it out against Ohio State. Because, I just get sick and tired of seeing Ohio State. But what do you think about that?
That's one thing about that game between Penn State and Notre Dame. I like I said, we like Penn State because my daughter did do 2 years in State Penn. Penn State. So anyways, but yeah, I like Notre Dame too. I always like Notre Dame. My son knows that I like Notre Dame. And so otherwise it didn't matter if Notre Dame won. If they won, they won, because I like the team. And I want him to beat Ohio State now, but I also like Penn State, and I think Penn State's a more stronger team. But that coach, I don't know, that coach just can't win the big one. Can't win the big one.
Penn State.
Yeah, for Penn State.
I know.
The coach for Penn State can't win. Franklin can't win the big one.
He never wins, man.
Yeah.
Even against like ranked teams during the season, like when he plays Ohio State, like he never wins. So
hey, Mr. 209, how you guys doing? And Gunner, how you guys doing?
Oh, Gun's in here.
Yeah,
oh,
Gun's in
good.
Here. 209.
Nice to see Gun. I haven't seen Gun in quite some time. Just been really busy.
But you know, our brothers, man. You guys are our brothers through YouTube, man, and we love you guys. And guys, you guys.
But yeah,
here, guys,
shout out to Mr. 209. Saludos, mi gente. That's basically what he says. Mr. Artimani says, Mr. 209, yay.
Yeah.
Gunners, I'm here, brothers. I appreciate you, Gunner. Always a big supporter right here, brother. Mr. 209 too, thank you so much. Lito, the boss, thank you so much as well for comment. Lito, let us know who you're rooting for in the college. In the college playoff, because you brought that up. And all the other people, drop comments and let us know who you're rooting for as far as coming to the Super Bowl, and then also in this coming Monday. I can't believe it. I thought last Monday was going to be the national championship game, and I even told my dad, like, hey Dad, like, isn't the game going to be on? He's like, no, it's next week. I'm like, all right, sorry, Bob, dropped the ball on that one. So there you go. Gunn says Big Floyd, and then Lito the boss says Dusolina saludos. Bang Bang Dubs is in here. Appreciate you, Dubs, for stopping by. Thank you so much. But okay, so let's talk about now the first game, and it looks like it's going to be Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is the Texans versus the Chiefs. Okay, so my Joel, he pulled the Texans, so he's going to go up against Daniel, one of my good friends from work. We don't work together, but we work kind of together. But he pulled the Chiefs. What do you think about that one, Pops?
I hope Texans beat him, to be honest with you. I'm getting tired of John Elway. John Elway. I'm sorry, man. But anyways, I'm getting tired of that quarterback from the Chiefs. Mahomes, yeah.
Sean Elway.
Well, I don't know. That guy, they need to hit him a couple of times. I think they need to sack him a couple of good times, and I'm getting tired of him. He's always twinkle-toeing around back in the backfield and running around, and I don't know. He tries. I don't know. He does all these things, but yeah. I hope he gets whacked a couple of times. That's all I have to say.
And you know what? The
And
Texans, the Texans have the defense to do it.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Texans, I mean, this could be an upset because, like I said, I know the coach for the Chiefs always puts together a good game plan, especially when he gives his team some rest. I know. So I'm only going to expect excellence from the Chiefs, of course, right? 2-time Super Bowl champs, trying to win the 3rd straight, but I hope they don't get it. I am sick and tired of the Chiefs. I rooted for the Chiefs way back in the 90s when they actually had Joe Montana. Who remembers that? But I mean, ever since then, I've just never been a big fan. But you know what? It's going to be, hopefully we just get a good game, right? A good close game and something that goes down to the wire. And hopefully we'll see. We'll see if the Texans pull it off or if the Chiefs. But like I said, that's going to be the first game, and that is Joel versus Daniel when it comes to that first game on Saturdays. Hopefully you guys tune in. We got Lito, the boss, says, I think Ohio State is going to take it. They're hot. They're hot. They're a hot team, man. They're beating people, right? They dominate Oregon. Forgot who the last game they played.
They beat Oklahoma. No, they beat
who was the last game? Was it Oregon? No. I forgot.
Was,
Lito, who did Ohio State beat to get to the national championship? I even forgot, man.
Was it Alabama?
No, Alabama didn't make it. But then Audie says, sauce, just like a Gunner. Actually, Gunner was the creator of that whole.
Oh, there he goes. Texas.
Yes,
That's
Texas. There you go. Yes, I even forgot.
Thank you.
It just shows you,
thank you.
I mean, I don't know. But was that a good game? I'm trying to even remember.
No, I think they ended up beating them pretty good. I think,
no, it was a close game.
Was it a close game?
I thought it was a close game.
I don't know. This has.
It's been like a week, and my memory is already shot. I just had such a busy week, just traveling and stuff. I'm back in the FC Sneaker Factory, so finally on a live. I haven't did a live in so long. But let's go ahead and go on to the second game, right? The second and final game when it comes to Saturday. And that is the Commanders versus the Lions, right? My cousin Mike got the Commanders, and he wasn't too happy about it. Mike, if you're here, drop a comment. And then we had the Lions, which is the team that I pulled. I had the 7th pick when it came to picking the team out of the hat. I picked the Lions. But, like I said, they got a break, good amount of break. Could hurt them. I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders win, to be honest with you. But what do you think, Pop?
I don't know. I think that coach that they have for the Lions, he wants to kill. He wants to go for the kill on every team that he plays. Look at all the way to the end of the season. He went balls out. He wanted to beat everybody. Look at it. Even he wanted to beat on the 49ers, and the 49ers actually gave him a good fight the second to the last game, I think it was.
Yeah.
And in the 49ers, they played a good game, but it's just that they didn't have the players. They didn't have all their players. You know that.
They played the first half of great, but second half was just garbage. Right? Like, what's new with the Niners?
But anyways, getting back to that game, I think the Lions are gonna dominate that game. I think they're gonna beat them. Because like I said, that coach he wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, hopefully I get to go on. Hopefully this might be my year. I don't know, but it might be. But who knows? It may not. You just never know who's gonna show up on this particular Saturday against the Commanders versus the Lions. Mike versus Floyd, Cousins versus Cousins. However you want to see it. But that's going to be a hell of a game, I think. I think it's going to be a really good game. Yeah. But then on Sunday, right, the first game on Sunday, we got the Rams versus the Eagles. We got my mom, Yolanda, versus Michelle, one of the cheerleaders, right, going head-to-head with each other. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a really close game. It's going to be in Philadelphia. But what do you think, Pop? Who do you think is going to win that game?
I think the Rams. I think the Rams are going to beat them. I think their defense is going to hold up, and they're going to beat them. Like I said, I ain't a Rams fan, but I think they're gonna surprise. They're gonna be like I said, the Cinderella team, and they're gonna surprise the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think they're gonna beat them. I'll say like 24-17. That would be the score for them.
Okay, my dad's giving the actual prediction of the score right here. So we'll see. Mark his words, 24-17.
Yeah.
And that's the Rams.
That's
right?
the Rams. Yeah.
So we'll see. Let's see if my dad's a predictor, right? We'll see if his head's gonna just predict who's gonna win and actually the score.
Yeah.
We'll see. So we'll see who moves on for that. And both, right? That is the NFC team. So that's the Rams versus the Eagles and the Commanders versus the Lions. The winners of both those games go on to the NFC Championship. Yeah. And in the final game, I mean, this is perfectly set. Sunday night, we got the Ravens versus the Bills. Wow. I mean, that's going to be like a Super Bowl in itself right there.
That's going to be a back and forth game. I think that's going to be a back and forth game, and both quarterbacks are going to be running. They're going to be off to the races. They're both going to be trying to win. But you know what? What's surprising me is running back for the Ravens, I even forgot his name now. He's up there. He's up there in age like me, But Henry, there you go.
Oh, King Henry.
King Henry
for the Ravens. Yes.
Yeah.
He's not quite as old as my dad. My dad's a young man right here, but
I'm up there.
But King Henry definitely, I feel like he got rejuvenated.
Like he's running around like a young buck. But I think they're gonna handle him pretty good. They're gonna hit him a couple of times.
Who do you think is gonna win?
It's gonna be a back and forth game. I ain't gonna say who's gonna win now. I know the Bills. The Bills should win. The Bills should win. They should win. I think they should have the the odds that favor them. Favor the Bills. But the Ravens, like I said, who shows up? Who tomorrow? Jackson, if he shows up or not. Quarterback.
Yeah. I was discussing this with my cousin Dave. Actually, yesterday. We were talking on the phone about the game. He's like, you know what? Like, Jackson does not show up in the big games. But who knows? Maybe this is the game that he's going to actually show up in. We'll only see. But that is the Ravens was pulled by my cousin Dave, and then the Buffalo Bills was pulled by my dad's best friend,
Henry,
childhood best friend, Henry. So that's going to be a hell of a game. I think that's going to be the icing on the cake. And actually, you know what? We got Monday off. Martin Luther King's birthday, so we can actually relax, enjoy that game, and then not have to worry about hurrying up and going to sleep and getting ready for work the next day. Well, my dad doesn't have to worry about that, but I do. So we don't have to do. I don't have to do that. I can just know that I can go peacefully. I can stay up late. Talk to some of the cheerleaders, and then also, and just enjoy my Sunday and not have to worry about I got work tomorrow. So. It's a hell of a lineup. I mean, I feel like all these games can go either way when it comes to the playoffs. I feel like these are just really good matchups when it comes to the playoffs and when it comes to these teams and moving on. I feel like it's anybody's game, to be honest with you. And we'll see. We'll see come Saturday. We'll probably drop another live next Wednesday. We'll probably do it and basically give everybody an update of who's going on and who is no longer with us when it comes to this amazing pool. I love this pool. I mean, like I mentioned in last week, I said, I have no horse in the race. So this makes this even more special because, I could care less who wins, but I'm just hoping the team that I pulled, right, wins when it comes to this playoffs. And it's always fun. It's always a good time. But I mean, that's pretty much all that I wanted to discuss here, but we just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for everybody, right? Let me go down the line. I appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you so much. I mean, small channel.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Adi Marin, Big Adi, always supporting. Lito the Boss, right there. We got Mr. 209. We got Gunners Collective TV. Big Dubs, Bang Bang is in here. And then I believe that was it. Yeah. So if you were in here and you didn't drop a comment, what's wrong with you? It's free, right? hopefully you can
Yeah.
you know how to spell and you can type. Drop a comment down below. We would like to hear what you have to say, what your prediction is for the Super Bowl or for these games. Let's just talk about these games. Who do you feel like is going to win? Who do you feel like is no longer going to be moving on? We would like to know that, your predictions. And also, what about the national championship this coming Monday, right? Oh, it's a holiday, so perfect, right?
Yeah.
Perfect for a holiday. We don't have to worry about hurrying up and getting home and to get ready for the game. We could just know that we can just wake up, relax, and then watch the game in the evening time.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's my Pops right here. Go ahead and Pops, say what you got to say. I know you got a lot on you.
Hey, maybe next time I'll do a lot better. I do get I get TV shy. No, I mean YouTube shy. But anyways, no, I love you guys. You guys all been good to me, and to my son, and we love talking to you guys. And you know, I haven't been on, but he has, and you know, I always get on your guys' channel and I always give you guys all support. And I still have you guys on my channel, Gunner, Dove, 209, Artie. You don't have a channel, but I always get on everybody's channel that I support. I support a lot of people.
Okay, sure does.
And I love you guys.
This guy is always on YouTube.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah. When he comes over, my mom's always like,
she's always on me.
On him, saying, "Get off your phone. You're always on your phone." Going to the bathroom on his phone.
Yeah.
Going everywhere he has to go, he's always on his phone watching YouTube.
Yeah.
But you know what? This was my dad's first time actually being on a live in front of the camera, so I think he did a pretty damn fine, good job because he is my dad.
Yeah.
We share the same genes. I know how to work the camera, and I know he will eventually, but I think he did an amazing job. Thank you so much, Pops. My best friend right now.
If it was me, I'd be playing oldies right now, man.
This guy is oldies, man. I swear. He wanted me to play oldies while we're doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
guys,
that's not gonna happen. We'll get copyright.
If you guys have anything to say about that, you let me know. Comment on that, guys. Okay, let me know what you guys think. No, I love you guys. You guys all take care of it.
Oh, Pop, you're too much, man.
Guys, enjoy the games. Enjoy the game Saturday and Sunday. Okay, enjoy them, and we'll get back to you guys. And
we'll do it again next week. We'll see who wins. But I'm going to give all these people a shout out because these are people actually participated in the pool. And like I said, it always makes it fun. I mean, you lose a little bit of money, but nothing crazy. But shout out to Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. He was actually the first one to join the pool. And then it went to George. He was actually trying to get 2 teams in the pool. But, hey, the teams people ran out quick. They wanted to participate in this thing. My mom, Yolanda, beautiful woman. My dad, Floyd Sr. right here. Myself, Joel, Art, Jeff, Henry, Mike, David, Michelle, Matt, and Steve. Shout out to each and every one of you. Everybody that is continuing to move on. Hey, your future might be looking bright.
Good luck.
And all the people that are no longer with us when it comes to the pool, hey, there's always next year. Just like your team, there's always next year when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. But thank you so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I know my dad does too.
I do too.
Because he said he loves you guys numerous times. So thank you, Dad, for showing up. Thank you for being by my side as always. Just a good man right here. Like I said, my best friend.
My son. Always support him. He's a good guy. He's a good kid.
Yep. I'm a kid, but I'm not. I wish I was a kid, but no. But thank you again. We appreciate you guys all for showing up. For those that commented, thank you again for that. We really appreciate that. Even though it's just a few people, hey, it's better than nothing, right? So thank you, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. We'll probably do this again next Wednesday. And you know what? Just like how Mr. Wonderful always does it in front of the camera, right? With the fit check, I'm just keeping it casual. My dad, as you can see, he came over casual.
In the Browns.
Yeah, in the Browns because he's a big Browns fan. His cars are all in Browns too.
Yeah.
But just like I always say, Mr. Wonderful Floyd, just like all the beautiful ladies tell me, just like the beautiful woman tells my dad, my mom, she says, Floyd, you are too
darn sweet.